Good morning, and welcome to the Good News Sunday Show. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I am your host, and I joy to come to you in this fashion. Now, our summer series is in regards to the prayers of Nehemiah, and I have titled this Navigating Prayer with Nehemiah. Navigating Prayer with Nehemiah. And last week we talked about the Lord's love language. Do we know the Lord's love language? That is what we talked about last week. This week, our title and our subject matter is Reviewing, Recounting, and Remembering the Works of His Mighty Hand. And the His is, of course, the Lord God Almighty. Reviewing, recounting, and remembering the works of His mighty hand. And so what we have been doing is 1 week we read the text and thoroughly throughout. We read the entirety of the text that we are working on. And then the next week we walk through the text exegetically. Did I say that right? Exegetically? Don't think I did say that right. So, today marks one of the weeks that we read the entirety of the text. Now, Nehemiah 9:5 through 38 is noted to be the longest prayer in the Bible. Now, last week we walked through the prayer in Nehemiah 1. Next week we will work on the prayers that we are going to read today. Then the following week, we will read the longest prayer in the Bible, which is reportedly Nehemiah 9:5 through 38. And I'm thinking this is longer than the prayer in the garden of the Lord. So, today we will read the little prayers, the little constant communications that Nehemiah had with the Lord throughout his journey. And then next week, we will walk through them. So today, our reading starts us in Nehemiah 2:4. Nehemiah 2:4. Then the king said to me, "For what dost thou make request?" And Nehemiah said, So I prayed to the God of heaven. Nehemiah 4 through 5. Nehemiah 4 through 5. Hear, O God, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their head, and give them for a prey in the hand of their captivity. And cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. That is the prayer found in Nehemiah 4 through 5. Let me just read that again. Hear, O God, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the land of captivity, and cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. Nehemiah 5:19. Nehemiah 5:19. Think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. Think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. Nehemiah 6:9. Nehemiah 6:9. For they all made us afraid, saying, their hand shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. For they all made us afraid, saying, their hands shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. Nehemiah 6:14. My God, think upon Tobiah and Sanballat, according to these works, and on the prophetess Noadiah and the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear. Nehemiah 13:14. Nehemiah 13:14. Remember me, O my God, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God, and for the offices thereof. Nehemiah 13:14 once again. The words of Nehemiah. Remember me, O my God, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God, and for the offices thereof. Nehemiah 13:22. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath. Remember me, O my God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. Once again. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day. Remember me, O my God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. 13:29. Remember them, O my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of all the Levites. Thus cleanse I them from all strangers, and appoint the wards of the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business. And for the wood offering at the times appointed, and for the first fruits, remember me, O my God, for good. That is all of the little prayers of Nehemiah. Now, one of the reasons we titled this Remember, because the word remember is woven throughout the prayers of Nehemiah. And it's reported that the word remember is within his prayers some 7 times. Now, I myself counted 5 times, and I'm sure there are 7 considering the prayer of chapter 9. So next week, we will gather here and walk through each one of these prayers with our own interpretation, with the interpretation of the culture that we know and have in 2024. One other thing is Nehemiah was a man of constant prayer, and whenever he worked on a project, he was known to pray. I hope and pray that we learn something from the person of Nehemiah, from the character of Nehemiah. I hope and pray that we learn a thing or two from his position of steadfast prayer. This is Sonia McCullough-Lockery signing out for the Good News Sunday Show, Keyword Bible Studies, the Bible Study Studio. and a host of many other things. Thank you, and have a blessed day in the Lord.